Right, hold my hands up. Now's the time, people. If you ever wanted a chance to stick the knife in, to really give it to me, then now's the time. I told you that Chelsea would win this game against Manchester United. I told you that this was the most confident that I've been going into a game against Manchester United at Old Trafford in so many years. And I just can't believe what we saw out there today. Criminal, really. Criminal is the word that I've got to describe it with. Now, I'll just quickly go through my thoughts on the match. Obviously, anyone that was in the live stream, big up, you will know how I felt about it, and you'll have seen my authentic reactions. I've had about 30 seconds to calm down, and I'm still fucking fuming if I'm completely honest with you, so it is what it is. But Robert Sanchez, straight away getting sent off. The writing was on the wall, wasn't it? The writing really was on the wall. Do you know what it is, right? I'll say for those first 5 minutes, what's 5 minutes in football? It's not much. Man United were always going to come out and they were going to try and have the bit between their teeth. They were going to try and be offensive because their fans would have been massively disappointed at the fact that they played shit against Manchester City. They've played shit so far this season, but in those first 5 minutes before Robert Sanchez got sent off, they weren't playing shit. And Robert Sanchez's judgment there was so poor. I don't know if any of you would disagree or agree with me. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section below. But let's say Mbeumo's through on goal, yeah? He could miss. He could miss. Sanchez could pull off a save. But regardless of any of that, I would rather be 1-0 down with 11 players on the pitch than 0-0 for a free kick with 10 players on the pitch. And it just got worse from there, man. You got Bruno Fernandes scoring literally, 10 minutes after Robert Sanchez got sent off. Casemiro made it too. He loves to score a goal before against Chelsea, from a corner. That was from a flick on from Harry Maguire. But I want to speak about... I'm not really interested about what Man United did, and I'm sure you're not that interested about what Man United did. I'm going to speak about what Chelsea did here. Now, whose fault was today? Whose fault was it? Because straight away, there's two people that you'll jump to straight away, and that is either Robert Sanchez or Enzo Maresca. And I really do think that the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Now, Robert Sanchez got it completely wrong. It is not acceptable. You've had a great 6 months. But I get accused of being toxic positive. I can't even say it. You know what I'm on about. Toxic positivity and all this shit all the time and whatever. And I get that, yeah? I get it. You guys feel like I too optimistic about the team. What your toxic positivity and optimism might be translated for me is supporting my team, trying to actually support the team rather than going, we're never going to win this and stuff like this. So once Robert Sanchez was sent off, I said, you know what? I just think that changes a win into a draw. Clearly I was wrong. However, we need to speak about Enzo Maresca because the substitutes that were made after that Sanchez sending off were somewhat diabolical for me. Honestly, somewhat diabolical for me. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because some people were saying that Cole Palmer was injured, but to sub Cole Palmer off is ridiculous. If you need someone to pull something out the bag in a big match, it's Cole Palmer. Do we not remember the games against Manchester United that Cole Palmer's played? If we need someone there, it's Cole Palmer. He was subbed off. Esteban, the second that Robert Sanchez got himself subbed off, I thought, you fucker. Because Esteban's got to start now in the Premier League in a big game. A game that he can really show off his talent, flex his muscles, really show what he can do. And I knew that it would spell the end for Esteban. So, as much as I didn't like it and I knew that it would happen, I wasn't furious at it because I expected it. What I didn't expect was Pedro Neto to then be subbed off, Cole Palmer to then be subbed off. What you basically did is not throw in the towel, but you went massively defensive. You shrunk all the width from the game, which, bearing in mind, Man United was still attacking us. We would have been able to counter-attack them, and when we did counter-attack them, we had João Pedro and João Pedro pretty much only. I said that the only goal threats that we had on the pitch now were João Pedro, Cucurella and Reece James. Clearly I was wrong. Only half wrong because Reece James was the one that set up the goal. But what I'm saying is the subs were diabolical. They were diabolical. Why would you sub off all your wingers? Maybe because you're bringing or planning on bringing Garnacho on in the second half. That would make sense, wouldn't it? That would make sense. Now, here's where I'm going to flip-flap a little bit. I understand that Enzo Maresca can't see into the future, all right? And Enzo Maresca doesn't realise that Man United are also going to get a player sent off. A player that, in my opinion, maybe should have been sent off earlier on. I think that the yellow card that Casemiro got could have been given as a red in some circumstances, but I'm not going to sit here and complain about it and whatever. What I will complain about is this. Once it's 10v10, we should be beating that Man United side. We should be beating that Man United side once it's 10 versus 10. And we didn't. We didn't do that. You know, we had the ball in the back of the net twice. One was clearly offside from Wesley Fofana. By the way, Wesley Fofana came off at around the hour mark, I believe. It's a toss-up, really. Nah, it's not a toss-up. I was about to say Reece James. He got the assist and he played well and he looked like the one that was trying to pull things out of the bag for us, but he did also make some big mistakes. Wesley Fofana was probably our man of the match today. But yeah, Enzo Maresca can't see into the future. He can't see. He doesn't know the fact that they're going to go down to 10 men, then it's going to be 10v10. But if you do know that, then maybe you don't make some of those defensive substitutions. But here is my problem. And here's where the blame has to lie on Enzo Maresca a little bit here today, as well as Robert Sanchez. Once it goes to 10 against 10, it's a level playing field. It's an even match. Then that's the point when you look at your bench and you go, okay, cool. I've made very defensive substitutions so far. Obviously, Jorgensen, it's necessary. Pedro Neto coming off for Tosin Adarabioyo. Cole Palmer coming off for Andre Santos. It's not the worst one in the world. Andre Santos was all right. You know, he helped us with the sending off. But it is what it is. Wesley Fofana coming off. He was one of our better performing players, but he came on for Tyrick George. But at the same time, Tyrick George and Malo Gusto both coming on at the same time. We look at the bench and, mate, you left Mark Yu, probably least importantly, right? You left Mark Yu on the bench. At least he's an all-out number 9, right? You left Mark Yu on the bench. That is kind of bad, but it's a little bit meh, yeah? Then, Jamie Gittins, we went and signed him in the summer for 50-odd million euros. Why is he not getting a start? But most criminal of them all. And isn't it ironic how the world moves and how things change and opinions change, and just goes to show that I know no better than anybody else, my friends. That's why I hold my hands up here. But how ironic is it that I never wanted us to get Garnacho? I wanted us to go for Xavi Simons instead of Garnacho. I was a little bit disappointed when we got Garnacho instead of Xavi Simons. But when I look at that bench and we need a goal there and you've subbed off Cole Palmer, Garnacho! Garnacho's your man. Garnacho's the one. Because even when it went to 10v10, I'm not saying there weren't moments of ambition from Chelsea there, but I'm saying there weren't fucking many. Do you know what I mean? There weren't many, were there? We had the goal that came from Trevor Chalobah, obviously, once it was 10v10, but we didn't show enough ambition. And I believe with an Alejandro Garnacho on the field looking to prove a point against a crowd that would have been very hostile towards him, and against a ground he knows very well. Remember, familiarity, that's one thing there that can help a player out big time. I think that Garnacho should have been on, and I almost think that, again, irony is the word I would use because I never thought I'd be saying this, but I actually think it was criminal to not sub Garnacho on in that second half. What I said at half-time was, look, I get that Maresca can be a little bit more conservative with these things, and what he won't do probably is make a sub on the 45-minute mark. I said what I believe he'll do is he'll wait 5 minutes, because Man United's red card for Casemiro was so close to the end of the first half that really you didn't know what shape they were going to then be setting up, and you didn't know what formation they were going to be looking at going with. And I thought what Enzo Maresca will do is he'll give it 5 minutes into the second half, and then after those 5 minutes he'll figure out who's where and who's playing where and whatever, and then he'll make them subs. He didn't make a sub until 20 minutes into the second half, and then, in my opinion, made the wrong subs. Did Malo Gusto do anything great? I know he made a challenge or two there, but no, he didn't. You know what I mean? Did Tyrick George do anything great? No, he didn't. Alejandro Garnacho should have come on there. You know what I mean? Jamie Gittins should have come on there, because what you did was this, right? You made a brash decision, in my opinion, Enzo Maresca. made a brash decision, in my opinion, in jumping the gun a little bit and putting those defensive players on. And I understood at the time, I get it. I do get it. You want to shore up the game. You want to move to a diamond with a 4 at the back, the keeper there, and hopefully then we can get something on the counter-attack. And okay, fine. But when you've got João Pedro there and you're playing Andre Santos and Enzo Fernandez off of the sort of sides of him, almost mirroring in a way, although they don't play 10 men, almost mirroring the way that Man United play, which hasn't been that successful for them up until today, I don't think that's the right thing to do. But when it goes to 10 men, that's when surely you add the width, the creativity. So when I see a player like Alejandro Garnacho on the bench, we even get teased with him warming up, running down the touchline, showing him the tactics board, and then you sub Malo Gusto on, and you sub Tyreek George. I love Tyreek George. But you would be lying, no matter how much of a diehard Chelsea fan you are, as am I, and we want to back the academy kids, you would be lying if you said that you thought that Tyreek George was more likely to come up with a moment of magic today than Alejandro Garnacho. It was written for Garnacho to score today. I know it's easy to say that because the game's done and he didn't even come on or whatever, but yeah, man, that's massively, massively disappointing from me. I think that a lot of blame has to go on Robert Sanchez. I think it'd be very, very unfair for us to put the sort of blame on Nicholas Jackson for his red cards last season, and then not put the blame on Robert Sanchez. And Robert Sanchez is a man that I've criticised probably more than most players in this Chelsea team, to be completely honest with you. But it's also a man that I've pushed back on recently and said, nah, do you know what? Like, he's played really well. There's been 6 months or so when he hasn't made an error that led to a goal, and he hasn't looked shaky, and he has made some great saves. And, you know, I've been all right with him and rate him as one of our better keepers, do you know what I mean, in the club's history, but I've been all right with him. But today, to make that challenge at that moment, it was brash. It was brash. If it was Haaland going through on goal or something like that, and you know he's going to hit the target, Harry Kane, I still wouldn't be in favour of it, but I half understand it. But Mbeumo, I get he got 20-odd goals last season. He was overpriced. Mbeumo's not that good. He could have missed the target. Robert Sanchez could have got his body in the way of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and there were two defenders that, yeah, although Mbeumo had the better of them, they weren't that far behind him. Do you know what I mean? So I would have stayed if I was Robert Sanchez. To come was brash. It fucked us. It really did cost us the game. But then Enzo Maresca's subs cost us the game as well. Ultimately, you got to give credit to Man United. You got to give credit to them, because even before anyone got sent off in the first 5 minutes, they were playing good football. But that's not indication of what was to come. 11v11, we had such a better starting lineup out there than them today. And if Cole Palmer wasn't injured, which he walked straight down the tunnel, which made me think, are you pissed off? Is that why you've walked down the tunnel? Maybe he walked down the tunnel to get treatment. Maybe that's the reason. But if Cole Palmer wasn't injured, to bring him off is criminal. To bring him off is fucking criminal, man. I'm really pissed off with that performance. And listen, there'll be a few of you in the comment section now that will probably say, oh, Joey's changing his tune. I'm not saying sack Maresca. I'm not saying, oh, throw our toys out the pram. Oh, the season's gone, whatever. We're 4 games in, mate. We're fine. I still think we'll win a trophy this season. I still think we'll qualify for Champions League football this season. We're fine. But at the same time, I'm emotional right now. I'm sleep deprived, mate. I could have spent the last 2 hours cradling my newborn baby in my arms, and instead I've sat through that, and it's not good enough. It's not good enough. We didn't show the fight that we needed to. I'm not saying there wasn't if you combine it, a half-hour period out of 90 minutes where we did show fight, but we didn't show enough that we needed to. And there will be people in the comment section as well that will suggest that the ref was against us, and yeah, I think that the ref was shit today. I think that a lot of the time about Chelsea games, but we should have won. 13 years it's going to be. 13 years since we've recorded a win at Old Trafford. It's not good enough, man. It's not good enough. I forgive the defeat to Bayern Munich. Like, it is what it is. As much as I big up Chelsea, and as much as I know that I believe in my side, I think this is a young side. I think this is going to be one of the best sides in world football in years to come. I truly still believe that. But I understand that Bayern Munich, in the maturity, 10 times more Champions League caps that starting 11 had than the starting 11 that Chelsea fielded. I understand that it was a tall order. We were 3.5, 4-1 with most bookmakers for a reason in that game. So you can sort of come back from it, you can breathe, and you can go, okay, there are positives, And there aren't no fucking positives here, really, are there? There's one positive to take from today, and that's that Wesley Fofana's back. And Wesley Fofana was our man of the match. He looked good. He never made a bad challenge, never really gave the ball away for what I watched of it, and I thought that Wesley Fofana was good. But when you go away to Old Trafford and you're giving your centre-back, who got subbed off after about an hour, man of the match, you know something's gone fucking wrong there. I expect a big response in our next game. That's vital, by the way, now. That's vital, because now we've got Jorgensen in goal for the next, 3 matches. That's if he doesn't dislodge Robert Sanchez, or, I don't think there's the option really to recall Mike Penders. I think the fact that Mike Penders is now at Strasbourg, isn't he, I believe, means that he won't be recalled, because ultimately we're a multi-club ownership now, and the Strasbourg fans already aren't happy with that. So if we recalled their goalkeeper, then they're going to be fucking fuming. The board would know that, so that's not going to happen. And Jorgensen, I don't rate him as highly as I rate Sanchez. I don't rate Sanchez massively, massively highly, but I think he's been good in the last few months. But Jorgensen, I don't even rate highly as I rate Sanchez. So for the next 3 matches of Jorgensen in goal, when he comes for balls that he has no right for getting, ironic, I know that Robert Sanchez got sent off for doing that exact same thing today, but I'm not confident in that either. So I think this is probably the most emotional you're going to get me after a video. And like I say, I am sleep deprived, man. I've had about fucking 0.5 hours sleep over the last week, 10 days. Vegas, having a baby, everything. But yeah, fucked off with that today, man. Really, really pissed off with that today. I still think that there's good things to come this season. Like, I'm not at all in a position where I'm now going, oh yeah, Chelsea have fucked it for this season. We've had worse starts than this, mate. Fuck me, we've had worse starts than this. This is only, 1 loss in the league so far. But I just can't believe it, man. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe how that game has gone. And it's crushing, man. Like, for all of the Chelsea fans that have now got to travel back from Manchester, it is crushing. It is a crushing defeat, because you had to sit and watch 90 minutes, no more than that. You had to sit and watch 100 minutes of your team playing with 10 men. And we all got this euphoria when Casemiro got sent off, because then we realised, well, hold on. We know we're the better side. Like, we are the better side. I know Man United won today, whatever. You'll give me stick in the comments, but we are the better side, right? So when it goes to 10v10, we think, oh my God, here you go. This is where it happens. I was picking it up on the stream. I said, this is where it's going to happen. This is where Chelsea are going to show their class. And this is where Chelsea are going to show that on a level playing field, we're better than them. And we didn't create enough in that second half. Reece tried his best. What more can I really say? Reece tried his best. I can't really label out too many other players. I'd like you to tell me who you thought was good there. I thought Andre Santos was all right once he came on. But it is what it is, man. Listen, you lot, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm going to release this one raw as it is, because I've got to go and get my daughter now. So I love you all very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, peace out, people.